They were brothers, they were warriors, and now they are bitter enemies. From dominance in the Shield to headlining WrestleMania, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns have been locked in a battle of supremacy over WWE for the past decade. But their feud isn't just about gold, it's about betrayal, mind games, and unfinished business. And now, after everything, it all comes down to one final question. Who truly has the upper hand? Welcome to Bell Wrestling, where we break down the biggest rivalries, shocking betrayals, and historic moments in WWE history. If you are a die-hard wrestling fan, hit that subscribe button because we bring you the most in-depth wrestling analysis each and every single week. Before we get into this epic rivalry, make sure to hit that like button and let us know in the comments, who do you think truly dominated this feud? Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns? But for now, let's dive in. The rivalry between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns is one of the most compelling sagas in modern history. These former brothers in arms turned bitter enemies in the process have given us some of the most unforgettable moments in WWE history, but their battle hasn't just been about championships and bragging rights. This war has been a psychological, personal, and deeply rooted betrayal. With recent developments, we may be heading towards the final chapter of their saga, or an even more intense peak, some would say, in their legendary feud that people will be looking at in years from now as one of the best in WWE history. But before we get there, let's go back to the beginning of this storied rivalry. Before their WWE careers took off, their paths were already destined to cross. Roman Reigns, a member of the legendary Anoa'i family, was a former football player who transitioned into professional wrestling. Seth Rollins, formerly known as Tyler Black, made a name for himself on the independent scene, particularly in Ring of Honor. Both men found their way to WWE's developmental system FCW, which later became NXT. Rollins became the first ever NXT champion, proving that he was destined for greatness. WWE had plans for a dominant faction, and by the end of it all, 3 men were chosen, and that was Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose. At Survivor Series 2012, the wrestling world was turned upside down when The Shield made their shocking debut. Dressed in black tactical gear, they destroyed anyone in their path, redefining what we would see as dominance in the WWE. Fans saw Roman Reigns as the powerhouse, Dean Ambrose as the unhinged lunatic, and Seth Rollins as the architect, the mastermind of all the destruction. Together, they steamrolled through WWE, defeating legendary factions like Evolution. But as we all know in wrestling, all good things must come to an end. It was the chair shot heard around the world. On June 2nd, 2014, Seth Rollins shattered the Shield. Aligning himself with the Authority, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose were left blindsided, and fans couldn't believe what they had witnessed. While Reigns worked to establish himself as one of the top babyfaces in the company, Rollins continued to prove that he always had a plan. WrestleMania 31 solidified this. In the dying moments of Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, Rollins sprinted down the ramp, cashed in his Money in the Bank contract, and stole the WWE Championship right from under Reigns' nose. For the first time, Rollins had Reigns' number, but it wouldn't be the last. Fast forward to 2020, the world was shut down due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and WWE had no live audiences. Roman Reigns took a break but returned with a new persona, the Tribal Chief. Aligning himself with Paul Heyman, he became the most dominant Universal Champion in history, holding the title for a record 1,316 days. He was considered untouchable, except by one man. When Rollins challenged Reigns for the Universal title at Royal Rumble 2022, he knew exactly how to get into his head. Walking to the ring in full Shield gear, the mind games worked. Reigns couldn't contain his fury and got himself disqualified, proving that even as the tribal chief, he still couldn't definitively beat Seth Rollins. Fast forward to 2025 and the bloodline has shifted. Solo Sikoa took control of Reigns' absence, igniting a civil war within the faction. Reigns, looking to regain his family's loyalty, found an unlikely ally in CM Punk. WrestleMania 40 saw a crucial turning point in this feud. Rollins and Cody Rhodes took on Reigns and The Rock in a blockbuster match. But in a moment of poetic irony, Reigns had a choice: attack Cody to retain his title or finally get revenge on Rollins. He chose Rollins, and that decision cost him everything. Cody capitalized and ended Reigns' historic title reign. Once again, his obsession with Rollins led to his downfall. At Royal Rumble 2025, Rollins and Reigns, their hatred boiled over once again. The two brawled at the ringside, leading CM Punk to take advantage and eliminate them both. Furious at this time, Rollins, he snapped, attacking Reigns with a brutal double stomp on the steel steps, kayfabe injuring him in the process. With WrestleMania approaching, what comes next? Will we finally see the ultimate showdown, or will CM Punk, deeply entangled in both of their stories, turn this into an all-out war? Well, one thing is for certain: this saga isn't over. If you enjoyed this deep dive, then be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more hard-hitting wrestling analysis. Stay tuned because this story is far from finished.